Picture this. It's 1799. You're a British naturalist and a wooden crate has just landed on your desk, shipped all the way from Australia. You pry it open. Inside is an animal specimen. The body of an otter, the tail of a beaver, and somehow the bill of a duck. What would you think? Most naturalists came to the same conclusion. Someone had stitched this thing together as a prank. Because what you're about to find out is even weirder than the face. Let's start with the egg laying. Most people assume mammal means gives live birth. It doesn't. The actual definition is an animal that nurses its young with milk. Whether it lays eggs is beside the point. Platypuses belong to one of the oldest branches of the mammal family tree, retaining ancient traits that most mammals lost millions of years ago, such as egg laying and a single all-purpose opening, while still sharing the defining traits of mammals, including fur and mammary glands. And then there's something even stranger. Female platypuses don't even have nipples. Their milk doesn't come out of anywhere specific. It seeps straight through the skin. Glands under the belly release milk that pools in the fur. The babies don't suckle. They just lie against their mother and lick it off. If the females already sound like a biological contradiction, the males come armed. They've got a venomous spur on each hind ankle. Come breeding season, the venom glands switch on, and if a rival male gets too close, the spur delivers venom straight into its rival. The venom won't kill you, but the pain is something else. Standard painkillers barely touch it, and some victims report agony that drags on for weeks, even months. To this day, there's no dedicated anti-venom. Doctors can only manage the symptoms. And if you think that's the peak of weird, wait until you see it hunt. The second a platypus dives underwater, it shuts its eyes and seals off its ears and nostrils, relying almost entirely on a sense that mammals rarely possess. In other words, it loses almost every sense that relies on air. But it doesn't need to see. Its bill is packed with thousands of electroreceptors, tuned to the faint electric fields given off by muscle and nerve activity. The moment prey so much as twitches, the platypus knows exactly where it is. Among mammals, that kind of electroreception is almost unheard of. But catching prey creates another problem. Platypuses don't have real teeth. So how do they chew? While foraging, they scoop up sand and small pebbles along with their prey, then grind everything together using a horny pad in the mouth, using rocks as makeshift molars. Here's something even more surprising. A platypus maintains a body temperature of around 32 degrees Celsius, noticeably cooler than most mammals, which hover around 37. It's one of the lowest resting body temperatures of any mammal alive, a holdover from a much more primitive mammalian body plan. Over millions of years, its stomach became so reduced that it lost most of the functions a typical mammalian stomach performs, including producing gastric acid. Even its plumbing is unusual. Waste, urine, and reproduction all exit through the same single opening, the cloaca. That's standard equipment for reptiles and birds. Finding it on a mammal is not. Then there are the chromosomes. Humans get by with 2 sex chromosomes, X and Y. Simple. Platypuses have 10. 5 X's and 5 Y's linked end-to-end into a single chain that jointly determines sex. It's so complex that geneticists are still working out exactly how it functions. And here's the strangest detail of all. Under UV light, a platypus's fur glows a faint blue-green. Some researchers have suggested it may help with camouflage under low-light conditions, while others suspect it's simply an optical byproduct of the fur's structure. Those same features are exactly why 18th century scientists refused to believe the platypus was real. In 2008, researchers finally sequenced the platypus genome, and the results were even stranger than expected. It carries the milk production genes typical of mammals. It carries ancient genes tied to egg yolk formation. And most remarkably, its sex chromosome system shows clear homology with the Z chromosome found in birds. None of this means the platypus stopped evolving. It spent tens of millions of years evolving just like everything else. It's just that monotremes split off from the rest of the mammal family tree so early that the platypus held on to ancient traits most other mammals eventually lost, while quietly developing a few tricks entirely its own. The platypus isn't evolution's mistake. It's proof that evolution was never aiming for a single perfect design, only for what worked.